Hey class, here's the video for your math lesson on May 7th. Today we're going to work again on comparing fractions. Today what you need is your math workbook, your sharp pencil, and a brain that is ready to go. Get these supplies and we'll get started. All right folks, today we're going to be doing pages 613, 614, and 615 together. Then you will do 617 and 618 on your own. So comparing fractions. Yesterday we colored in boxes and we used our fraction tiles to help us see. Today we're going to look what they have in the book. It looks like they have some fraction tiles and they also have number lines. So we're still comparing fractions. We're just going to use some different strategies. You can compare fractions when the two fractions refer to the same size of the whole, which means if they have the same denominator. AJ has 3/6 of his homework done. Yuki finished 4/6 of hers. Who has finished a greater part of their homework? So one way we could use fraction tiles. Compare 3/6 and 4/6. The model shows that 4/6 has a greater size than 3/6, right? So 4/6 is greater than 3/6. That just makes sense. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 6 tiles versus 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's another way to show it using a number line. Represent each fraction on a number line. So we can see that 3/6 is here, but 4/6 is closer to 1. It's greater. 4/6 is closer to 1 whole. So 4/6 is greater than 3/6. So who finished a greater part of her homework? AJ 3/6. Yuki did 4/6. So her name goes here on the line. All right, let's turn the page. Example 2. Camille and Peter were reading a book. Camille read 1/4 of the book, while Peter read 1/3 of the same book. Who read a greater part of the book? Let's compare 1/4 and 1/3. So here's Camille, 1/4. The larger denominator of 4 means more, but smaller parts. Remember how we talked about that yesterday. Bigger denominator means smaller parts. And here's Peter. Peter read 1/3 of the book. The smaller denominator of 3 means fewer parts, only 1, 2, 3, but they're bigger. 1/3 is closer to 1 whole. So 1/3 is greater than 1/4, or 1/3 is greater than 1/4. So Peter read a greater part of the book. All right, we can do this. Guided practice. Use the models to compare. We're going to use greater than, less than, or equal to. 1/3 or 2/3. Look at the example. They have the same denominator though, so we can just say, would you rather have 1/3 or 2/3? Right, 2/3 is greater. Now we're going to use a number line. Again, we're comparing. We're going to use greater than, less than, or equal to. We have 1/4, that's where the dot is at, and then 1/6. Which one is closer to 1? 1/4 is greater than 1/6. What about here? We have 7/8 or 6/8. Let's check with the number line. Which one is greater? Which one's closer to 1? 7/8. Back to the fraction tiles. 2/4 or 4/8. Look really closely. What do you notice? Right, it's the exact same amount. They're equivalent fractions, so we write an equal sign. And number 5, we have 4/8 and 4/6. Which one is greater? 4/6. So the way that we read this is 4/8 is less than 4/6. All right, let's use the number line for numbers 6, 7, and 8. Number 6 says, circle all of the fractions on the number line that are greater than 5/8. So let's put a little dot at 5/8. There we go. Circle all of the fractions on the number line that are greater. Okay, well, 6/8 is greater, and 7/8 is greater, and 1/2 is greater. How do we write that as a fraction? 8/8. Good. Number 7. Draw a box around all of the fractions on the number line that are less than 3/8. So let's find 3/8 first. Draw a fraction, or draw a box around all the ones that are less. So they're less than it, here it is, and that's just 0. Okay, there we are. Number 8 says, write the fraction from the number line that is greater than 3/8 but less than 5/8. What do we have here in the middle? 4/8. Excellent. All right, guys, you are going to do a great job on pages 617 and 618. Please let me know if you have any questions. Keep working hard. Go Dolphins.